Order the code enforcement hearing for the town of Loxahatchee Groves. It's 9:05 on December 2nd. My name is Amity Barnard. I'll be the special magistrate for today's hearing. It looks like, based on the agenda, that we have all violation or fine assessment hearings. So a little bit about the process. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to testify on any items that are on today's agenda, including town staff. So if you're here for a code enforcement case, if you could stand and raise your right hands for me. Are you here for a case, sir? Okay, very good. Thank you. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And I guess let me confirm with the town. Is there anybody on the computer online?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, seeing that there's no respondents, then I will withhold the description of process because you all are familiar with the process. So I have approval of minutes on the agenda. You don't need approval of those today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So with that, I don't believe there are any additions or deletions.
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'll turn it to the town for new business to call its cases.
For new business, the first case is Linda S. Denny, EST. The address is 850 D Road. The violation is section 22-1117. Oh, I'm sorry. The case number is 241-00015.
I'm involved with the town of Loxahatchee Groves. The case number is 241-00015. The respondent's name is Linda S. Denny Estate. The property address is 850 D Road, Loxahatchee Groves, Florida. This case was established proactively as a neighborhood improvement inspection. The NOVNOH was served by a posted notice on November 18th, 2024 at the property at Town Hall and at the town's clerk's office. A copy of the posted notice was mailed to the property. I request the service of the NOVNOH be entered as evidence. The correction date was on November 28th, 2024. An inspection on December 2nd, 2024 found the following items remain beyond the time given and notice in violation of Code Section 22-117, delinquent business tax receipt for business Palmet Enterprises. Please contact front desk at loxahatcheegroves@fel.gov and obtain a business tax receipt. Photos that were taken that fairly and accurately represent the violation at that time. I request the photographs be entered into evidence. Staff conducted a FACES search, which found the respondent does not have a pending bankruptcy action or a list pendants filed against this property. Staff contacted the owner on August 26, 2024. I tried calling the owner's phone number on file. However, it was out of service and contact could not be made. The property was also posted on November 18th, 2024 to notify the owner of the hearing scheduled. Further research found on November 25 that the owner doesn't have an active listing of the business through either Sunbiz or DBPR, Department of Business and Professional Regulations. At this time, no contact has yet to be received by the owner and the violation still remains. The Code Compliance Division recommends the respondent be found in violation of Code Section 22-117. It is recommended that the respondent be given until January 1st, 2025 to correct the violation or be charged a fine not to exceed $250 per day for each day the violation continues to exist. It is also recommended that costs incurred by the Code Compliance Division in the amount of $234.05 be assessed and ordered to be paid within 30 days of the date of this meeting. In the event the Code Compliance Division is not contacted as required and or the violation is not corrected, it is recommended that a fine assessment hearing be held before the special magistrate on February 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. at the town of Loxahatchee Groves, 155 F Road, Loxahatchee Groves, Florida. It is also recommended that no additional notification of the attempt to postpone be given. I also have a case file here for you.
Okay, great. Can I take a look at that? Thank you. So what, I heard you say that there's no Sunbiz and there's no DVPR. What's the evidence that there's a business occurring?
We did initially have a business tax receipt for the delinquent fees paid through the town of Waxahachie Groves. That was back on October of 2021, when they paid for the delinquent business tax receipt for the year of 2022. So they did have it with the town when it was paid for originally, but ever since 2022, they have not renewed it for the past few years.
Is there a business there?
Yes, for Palmet Enterprises. So it's meant as a wholesale nursery. But there is no active listing that's required with Sunbiz or through the state. There could be a photo attached, I believe, on the left side where the files and photos are. There should be a printout that has previous business tax receipts that were paid through the town, through our town system.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm following that they had a business there in 2022, but what evidence do you have that they're still operating a business there? Just because they had one in the past doesn't confirm that they're still running a business there. So that's the dots I'm trying to connect. Cause it looks like it's a vacant piece of property, is that right?
It doesn't look like to be a vacant lot. There is no other evidence that points that there's a business currently being active. Solely the town was reaching out to several property owners with delinquent business tax receipts throughout the town. Trying to regain, homeowners to contact us, to apply for the business tax receipt and remain current with the town up to 2025.
Okay.
That was the town's version. The town has also, and myself, has tried to reach out to the property owner by phone call and posting of the property with no success, as the owner has not attempted to reach out through the town.
Okay. Let me ask the town attorney. I'm not sure that there's evidence here to confirm that there's a business operating there.
We are not, we don't have any additional information that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Um,
So I guess for the purposes of today, then why don't I reset this for the next hearing and you can look for, bring me back. You don't have enough evidence here for me to confirm that there's in fact a violation. So I understand your position that previously they had a business tax receipt with the town, but that doesn't mean that they're still operating a business. So is there a website? I mean, is there something that points them?
But it would be extra time given the research if there's any listings or any further documentation that shows that there's a business active.
Okay. Okay, so what I'll do then is for today's hearing, is there anything further from the town?
Not at this time.
Okay. So with that, in case 241-00015, I'll first enter the portions of the case file that relate to notice into the record as composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting and the certified mail documents in the case file, the town had good service for today's hearing. I'll reset this hearing or this matter for violation hearing rather. The next hearing will be on,
January 6th.
okay, so no mid-December. Okay, January 6th.
Yes, that's all I know.
Okay, I'll reset this matter for a violation hearing on January 6th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Okay, next case.
The next case is Diane and John Magarowski, and the address is 15036 North Road. The case number is 2410017.
The compliance officer at the town of Waxahachie Groves.
Angela, is your mic on?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. D'Angelo Campo, Code Compliance Officer with the town of Waxahachie Groves. The case number is 241000017. The respondent's name is Diana Magierowski and John Magierowski. The property address is 15036 North Road, Waxahachie Groves, Florida. This case was established proactively based on a neighborhood improvement inspection. The NOVNOH was served by posted notice on November 18th, 2024 at the property at Town Hall and at the town's clerk's office. A copy of the posted notice was mailed to the property owner. I request the service of the NOVNOH be entered as evidence. The correction date was on November 28th, 2024. An inspection on December 2nd, 2024 found the following item remained beyond the time given in notice in violation of Code Sections 22-117 delinquent business tax receipt for business Palm Beach Property Works LLC. Please contact front desk at loxahatcheegrowsfl.gov and obtain a business tax receipt. Photos were taken that fairly and accurately represent the violation at that time. I request the photographs be entered into evidence. Staff conducted a pacer search which found the respondent does not have a pending bankruptcy action or list pendants filed against this property. Staff contact with the owner and representative. An email was sent to the owner on August 12th, 2024, asking them to contact our office in regards to renewing their delinquent business tax receipt for the property. However, no response was received. The property was also posted on November 18th, 2024, notifying the owner of the scheduled hearing, and no contact was yet to be received. At this time, the violation still remains. The Code Compliance Division recommends the respondent be found in violation of Code Section 22-117. It is recommended that the respondent be given until January 1st, 2025 to correct the violations or be charged a fine not to exceed $250 per day for each day the violation continues to exist. It is also recommended that costs incurred by the Code Compliance Division in the amount of $234.05 be assessed in order to be paid within 30 days of the date of this meeting. In the event the Code Compliance Division is not contacted as required and/or the violation is not corrected, it is recommended that a fine assessment hearing be held before the special magistrate on February 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. at the town of Loxahatchee Groves, 155 F Road, Loxahatchee Groves, Florida. It is also recommended that no additional notification of the intent to pose fine be given.
Thank you. Is it just, I guess let me just ask a question while we're on the record. Is that the new script that's gonna be for each case?
We're working on it.
Okay, just that last sentence is concerning to me, and also, the failure to contact town hall or to comply. I'm not sure that that's, so if, modify that if you could.
Okay.
We're working on it.
I know it's a process, code enforcement, I know. Okay, so this one, is this the same thing? They had a BTR with the town previously?
Yes, BTR with the town.
Do they have a Sunbiz with this listing?
Yes, they have an active Sunbiz. The photo should be on the left side of that document.
Perfect, okay.
So active Sunbiz with the location of where the violation is located under Loxahatchee Groves, as well as a previous BTR that was paid through the town back in 2021. And it hasn't been paid since then.
5036, okay, so on division of corporations, this entity, Palm Beach Property Works LLC, has a principal address of 15036 North Road, so that's the location that you've cited for violation, so they're essentially admitting that they're running their business out of that location.
Yes.
What, so BTR hearings are a little bit different than standard code hearings. What are you seeking delinquency on? What year? Is this 2023?
This is for the year. They paid the renewal back in 2021 for the renewal for the year 2022. Because the BTRs are due and payable on September 30th of every year. If
Mhm.
it's past that date on when it's not paid, it's considered delinquent and a business tax receipt penalty fee occurs with the town. So they've been delinquent starting at the beginning of 2023 up to 2025 since we're past renewal up since September 30th of this year.
But isn't it for this, for the one that was due September 30th, 2024, that's not technically delinquent until 150 days, right? It's delinquent with the town, but it's not technically delinquent under state law,
For
Until-
150 days,
roughly April, March, April.
technically, I believe.
Okay. And in your recommendations, you were asking for a daily fine. Is that correct? Or are you seeking the administrative
For-
statutory penalties that you're allowed under the law?
For a daily fine.
Let me ask the town attorney if you're allowed to do that.
Don't, I believe it's statutorily provided as a, lump sum fee. up
That's
to-
right, not daily fines, right? So I mean, I'm willing to, if the town wants to give them time to comply for the outstanding BTRs, you can certainly do that, especially for the one that's this year. Because I can't technically assess the fines because they're not 150 days delinquent as we sit here today. For the 23 BTR, I can because we're well past that deadline. I guess let me ask the town attorney. I think I don't know what, do you have the license amount that's due for this property? You just want the order to reflect the license amount plus the penalties that are allowed under state law. I think it's $250 administrative fees and $250 penalty for the ones that are 150 days delinquent. And then the license fee plus 25% of the license fee, whatever amount that is.
That would be sufficient. Alternatively, special magistrate, given, a few issues with this particular one, we would not oppose if you wanted to continue the matter, reset it for the January 6th, so that we could clean up the file as well and just have very specific costs for you.
I'm happy to do this one on the fly if the town's okay. I mean,
Yes, yes,
there's
please.
sufficient proof on this one, so that's fine. I'm comfortable ruling on this one. So they paid 22, is that right?
Yes, they paid for the year for 2022 as it was due for the previous year on September 30th,
So all that's outstanding is 23 and 24.
23, 24, and then technically 2025. But from what you mentioned, it's considered delinquent 150 days after the.
So you consider the one, you're calling the one that was due September 30th, 2024, 2025's BTR?
Technically, yes.
Okay, so then there's actually two that are delinquent, is that correct?
Yes.
Plus the current one, so it's, I guess it'd be 22, 23, and 24.
Yes.
No, that's not right, because you're calling this one, so 25s is the one that's currently due, it was due a couple months ago, not
Mhm.
technically delinquent, so then 24 and 23 are the ones that have not been paid,
Yes.
correct?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. And what you might do, as you set these going forward on your notice of violation, you may indicate to them, just so it's clear which ones are delinquent.
Okay.
Because you're asking me to find them in violation for multiple years, and you may want to note that on your violation order, or excuse
Okay.
me, on your violation notice. I have another question. I'm sorry for the town attorney. I'm not sure this is the correct section that was cited. I don't think you have the section in here that says you have to have a BTR. I don't know off the top of my head what that number is, but. Do you have the code with, do you have that code with you?
I have it, up right now. There was, section 22-115 that requires each business registered shall continue in a single separate, business requiring a BTR that may fit a little bit better. And that is something that certainly we can renotice if section 22-117 is not a sufficient,
What I'm reading in the notice of violation is like, that's like a prima facie
Yeah.
section that if you hold yourself out as operating a business, that.
I would agree with that, special magistrate.
Just give me a second. I'm just looking at 22. So what's your preference? Would you rather renotice that one?
I think so, you're,
Okay.
yes.
And
please.
especially given you're asking for multiple years.
Yes.
It may be prudent to just pull that one and renotice it. All right, so the town's requesting to pull it.
Yes, please.
Next one.
Special magistrate, we would request, given the issues with numbers 1 and 2 on the agenda, 3 and 4 are similar as well. We would request to pull those and
Okay.
reset them for the January 6th, hearing.
And just for my knowledge, what does consent mean on before number 4?
So we are also working on revising these agendas.
Okay.
And so in future agendas, you likely will not see that section. I think. It's
That was
just
tracking
been-
a normal
yeah.
commission or something. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure I understood. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so for the record, 3 and 4 are also being pulled.
That's correct.
Thank you. We do number 5 now? Go ahead.
McCormick Homes LLC. The address is 14199 Tangerine Drive, and the case number is 2405003.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Code Inspector John Suarez for the town of Loxahatchee Groves, presenting case 240500003 in reference to the property at 14199 Tangerine Drive. For the record, this was pulled from the last special magistrate hearing for lack of service. This property was initially cited on May 7th, 2024 for the following violations. Section 05040 A and B. Permits are required. There was a fence erected without a permit, windows installed without a permit, conversion of accessory structure without a permit. A check on the permit status this morning, December 2nd, 2024, found that 2 permits were applied for on November 27th. One is a remodel of a shed and a privacy fence. There was not a permit on file yet for the window installation. For the record, notice of hearing was sent out certified mail on November 14th, 2024. A notice of hearing was posted on the property November 15th, 2024. At this time, the city is requesting 120 days for completion of the necessary permits or a fine of $250 per day per violation thereafter. I have the permit file for the record with the photos.
So you're asking for a continuance then, essentially? You're giving them more time to comply?
Well, they just applied for a permit.
Uh-huh.
And so in lieu of that, since the permits have been applied, then the completion of the permits. Because they
Okay.
just applied for them on the
Okay.
27th.
But this is fine, this is a fine assessment hearing, right? So there's an order in the file that required them to comply by a certain date?
There was no order in the file, no. There was, because for lack of service, it was never heard.
So this is a violation hearing.
There's a violation. here.
Very good.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, let me see your case file if I could.
Also, for the record, I have been in contact with the property owner. He has agreed to pull the necessary permits.
Monday's gonna strike again here, unfortunately. I think I remember this one, the date, the hearing date or something was wrong at the last hearing, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the trouble is you sent another notice on November 14th, but you gave them 31 days to comply. So it hasn't been 31 days yet. So I can't technically find them in violation.
Although the initial NOV,
That goes away. Cause if I'm the respondent, that's an automatic appeal if I find them in violation today.
was, I understand, it was 31 days, I guess on the notice being devil's advocate, to apply for a permit. He has applied for the permit.
But it's December 2nd. It's only been 15 days or something since you sent the notice.
I understand, Your Honor.
So my preference is not, there's no point in giving you an order that is challengeable in my mind. If the permits are in, I would say renotice this one. You can put it on the next hearing. But give them a short time frame. And maybe you just resent the same notice that you had sent, but if I find them in violation, the 31 days hasn't passed, so I think they have an automatic ground for appeal. Anything else from the town attorney?
No, that seems reasonable.
All right, so with that, then the request is to pull that one and just
Correct.
renotice it.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, sorry about that.
I totally understand, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, anything further for the magistrate?
No, ma'am.
With that, I'll adjourn at 9:34. And I guess before I leave, can I confirm, so there's not a January 15th hearing?